All right, so I'm just gonna show you some updates. So the weather has been a little bit warmer, so I have been able to do some of the things that I was talking about in some of the previous videos. So I'll just kind of show. So I did get the remainder of the carpeting all along that center tunnel and up in the front footwell on the passenger side, as well as the driver's side. So that seems to be working out nicely. It's sticking. Again, I don't know what was wrong with the vinyl when I was trying to attach that, but that did not work. I'm repairing some of. I do still have some vinyl here on where the gas tank cover is, and I'm just repairing that. I just got a different type of contact cement just to have it attached in a few spots. Otherwise, it's held down by fasteners anyway, so it's not going to come up, but that should be enough to hold it down. Here's the driver's side. Again, got the carpeting all the way up into the footwell, along the center tunnel, and all the way to the back. So looks good. It serves its purpose, so that should be fine. Again, I think I showed this in another video, but here's the gauges that are all kind of temporarily installed. Working, I have to do a little bit of modifications of where the steering wheel is going to come up against it. It fits actually perfectly fine right now, but if you do use the tilt part of the steering wheel, it does put a little bit of pressure here, so I just got to figure out something to do about that, but that should be a pretty simple fix. And you may have noticed also I have the 5-point racing harnesses. They're also installed. There's a bar along the back that's attached to the roll cage, and the bottom basically attaches to. I also have the regular DOT approved seat belts, because racing harnesses are not DOT approved. So I don't know if this is going to work at having both in or not, but as long as I have this DOT approved one, I think I should be fine. If not, I will just have to remove the racing harnesses for inspection purposes, but they're easy enough to install back if I need to take it to the track or something. But as long as I have the original DOT approved ones, I should be fine. Also, as I mentioned, I've been doing quite a bit of body work. It might not look like it, but the fiberglass does take quite a bit of time and a lot of practice really to kind of get used to working with it, but I think I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm fairly comfortable doing it. Most of the reason was, again, this is, you may have seen in some of the other videos, I basically had the body on just some wooden supports, and moving it around was pretty difficult, and all the kind of the wood frame that I had it sitting on was heavy and awkward to kind of move around. I did have it on some dollies to make it a little bit easier, but there was still a lot of flex in the body when I'm moving it around, and it did get unfortunately got bumped and crushed in a couple spots. So there was some repair work that I did have to do. And again, I'm going to be painting it anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and it also gives me some practice working with fiberglass. One of the main areas was up here on the front, right around the front bumper. There was a big crack right here. I must have hit it somehow with something and had a big crack there, so I did repair that, and it actually repaired really nicely. Once I get that sanded down, it should look pretty much perfect, and I just reinforced it as well. I just added more fiberglass in that area because, you know, I don't know if it is kind of a stress area. I don't know if you'll notice, but you can basically flex that there, and that's where the stress would be. So I don't know if I bumped it and it kind of cracked in that area, but there's a couple other spots like that. There's one on the side near the rocker panel over here that was cracked as well, that I repaired with fiberglass, and I'll get that sanded down smooth, and I don't think you'll be able to notice that there was ever a repair there, but it's strong. And there was, again, just with the flexing of the body, there was a little crack right there that I repaired, and this whole front area is where it's going to attach to the chassis. So I'm actually going to probably reinforce that on the back side even a little bit more, just so that doesn't happen. So one of the things you'll notice, so I do have this PVC kind of frame. It looks kind of silly, but I needed some other way to kind of stop this body flexing as I'm working on it, and kind of came up with this idea to make this PVC frame, which is super lightweight. It's really easy to move around. You know, it's not even on wheels, and I can move this around pretty easily. And you know, I made it so that it's, you know, butting up against the body in different areas, and really kind of supporting it so it doesn't flex at all. So it's going to make it a lot easier to do, you know, sanding and any kind of repair work. Although I'm pretty much done with the repair work at this point, but you know, the sanding and you know, at least getting the sealer coat of paint on before it goes on the chassis, and then you know, I'll do the rest of the painting probably while it's on, so I don't damage it, you know, getting the body on and off. So that's kind of the plan for now. So I can kind of basically drag this outside and do the sanding and everything outside when it's a nice day. And again, one of the areas that was tending to get damaged were these parts right here, where the door opening is, and you can see I've repaired it temporarily right here. There's basically, it cracked right in half, and again, that was just from me putting the body on and off and taking it off, and it was actually, when you put it on, it ends up getting pressed against that roll cage right there, and just over and over again it just ended up cracking. So I did repair that, and I'm going to reinforce that as well so it doesn't happen again when I put the body on there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the fiberglass in that area is really super thin, and you can see how much it is, you know, flexing just with my fingers. So I'm going to reinforce that, so because that will definitely crack again once I try and get this body back on. So I'll do the same. The other side seemed to be a little bit thicker and wasn't happening so much, but I'm going to reinforce both of these. The frame goes up on the back side of it, but there's still a little bit of room to give, you know, I'll put maybe an 1/8 inch thick reinforcement of either fiberglass or carbon fiber behind there, and give me a little bit more strength. So one of the things you might notice is that I basically took off everything from the body. So the marker lights, the fuel fillers, basically all the hardware, all the latches. So we are getting to the point, which is kind of exciting, where I'm going to be basically sanding the entire body down and getting it ready for any body filler, and then primer, sealer, primer, and paint. So it's coming along nicely, but there's still a lot of work to do. So one of the other things I just wanted to show quick is basically these shelves where when I originally started, this was filled top to bottom with boxes of parts from Factory 5. So it may look like there's still quite a bit there, but there's not much left in this build, and most of the stuff that's on these shelves are things that were on the car and in the doors, and have taken off again just so I can go to paint it. So there's really not much left. There's the lights up there, there's the center shelf, that's all the door panels and everything that goes inside the doors, and really that bottom shelf is all that's remaining from the Factory 5 boxes that completely filled these shelves. So it's kind of exciting. I'm getting really close to being finished with this, really. It is just mostly body work, and once I can get that done, get the body on the car, and basically get all these parts back on, we can paint it and we're done. So it's getting kind of exciting. And really, that means I'm pretty much done mechanically with the car itself. So everything is pretty much done, and a lot of the stuff can't go on until I get the body on. So It's just kind of sitting there for now. Some of these aluminum panels are where the body is going to attach, so they're kind of temporarily off. But for the most part, mechanically it's done. I'll just show you real quick. I did show the panels underneath, but they're on. So there's a little access panel there for where the belt is, and there'll be a panel that goes on there, but pretty much the undercarriage is done as well. And been painting where the wheel wells are, and I have some of the other pieces that are going to go on there elsewhere, and I'll get those put on as well. Again, they can't go on until the body is on. And the other thing, one of the other things I have to do with the body is with the interior roof. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. They have you where you can kind of see I've started doing the sanding. Is paint that area black, and then there's a headliner that goes right in there. I'm thinking I might want to insulate that a little bit better, and maybe, especially since that roof scoop is there, you're going to get a lot of hot air just when you're sitting there idling. So hot air is going to go from the engine compartment up through that roof scoop, and I imagine that's going to get really hot. So I might put some kind of heat shield up there on the roof, also for sound deadening, and maybe make some type of headliner to go over that as well. So still kind of deciding, but one of the things I will have to do to kind of get up there no matter what I do is, in the manual they do tell you to basically flip the body completely over, so it's sitting on its roof, to be able to work on the headliner. And that's just making me a little bit nervous with all the stress fractures and stuff that I've done moving the body just backwards and forwards. So that was the other reason I kind of made this PVC frame, and which is why that funny part is sticking out the top. I'm going to make it so I can basically rotate this and have it sit, rather than sitting on the roof, it's actually sitting on the frame, but it'll be upside down. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll work, but stay tuned to see what happens there. All right, so I just moved the body out into the outside, out in the sun. It was super easy, so lightweight with this new PVC frame. That was the first time I had done that, so it worked great. So you can really kind of see a little bit better now, the repaired areas out in the sunlight. So just going to get ready to grind those down a little bit and then sand everything, and hopefully it'll work out great.